It's a little bit rock and roll. It's a little bit chaotic almost.
Chaotic energy.
I love chaotic
Me
energy.
too. I give that sometimes.
I do too, actually. Hi everyone, I'm David. I'm here with the beautiful Natasha, and I've got a couple of beauty trends I think you're gonna see really heavily in 2023, and they're all based around Y2K. Okay, so here we go, trends. Are we ready to start this?
We're so ready.
First product, we're gonna dip right into the eyes. I've got the Huda Beauty Empowered Eyeshadow Palette. So good.
Wow.
Beautiful. I'm really excited about this palette because it's so multifunctional, but I'm gonna create something that would be considered early 2000s, kind of grungy, smoky eye with this.
Okay.
And that's a really big trend I think we're gonna start seeing a lot of. You know, the 90s were all about that polished, supermodel, neutrals. Y2K, early 2000s, it was like, they kind of slept in their makeup.
Like partying in a warehouse.
Yeah.
Till 4
yes.
a.m.
Celebutantes, partying, raves. So the makeup wasn't necessarily so perfectly polished, and it was a little bit more grungy, and I love that era. So here's something really cool about this actual palette. This and this shade are actually cream liners, gel liners, which I'm gonna use as the base for my smoky eye. And this really helps to reduce your fallout. I'm gonna be starting with the Sephora Pro number 15 brush, my baby. I'm gonna dip in. So we're gonna be using this as the base. So we're just gonna tap it in, starting at the lash line. A classic smoky eye will always start with the most pigment at the lash line. And then you just wanna blend upwards as you go. These brushes are really good for this because they are a synthetic fiber. They work fantastic with creams as well as powders. So it's a bit of a 2-for-1 with your brush. As you can see, I'm not really adding more product. I'm literally just tapping it up. I'm going right up to her mobile lid crease, which is where the orbital bone is there. And I'm just allowing this product to just dissipate into pretty much nothing. This is a classic smoky eye technique. This is the kind of technique that you learn in makeup school. It's like the first thing you learn, and it will be with you always, and it's so good, and it works on every eye shape, actually. And so I'm using the Sephora Pro brush number 15. It's the small shadow brush. You've all seen me use this numerous times. It's one of my absolute favorites in the brush collection. Just has so much use that you can do with it. As you can see, you can almost blend this gel product right out into a perfect smoky eye right from the get-go. On the other eye, same thing. So I'm gonna do the same base on the bottom. Same thing, keep it really close to the lash line. And don't be scared. I think the #1 thing with a smoky eye is everyone's scared about the bottom portion, and they're like, I don't wanna look like I have a black eye, or, I don't wanna look like a panda bear, that's what you always hear. But honestly, I think a little bit of extra smoke below is such a cool effect. And I'm gonna give this a bit of a more round shape rather than a full, elongated winged, because I think we're seeing is a bit of a return to the rounder doe-eyed shape, kind of leaning away a little bit from that heavy cat eye, elongated winged. Just has a fun effect to it. Okay, so now I'm gonna be moving into the powder phase. I'm actually gonna set the cream with this deep brown tone here. I'll be using a bit of a fluffier brush. This is the number 27 blending brush. I'm just going to press it right on top. We wanna really saturate and set.
I think it's cool that you're using a brown shade to fill it in, David, because sometimes people get a little nervous of doing
full black.
A full black,
Which I
eye.
love.
Same.
I love a black cream with a black powder. It's really cool. But again, that's the beauty of trends in general, is you can absolutely customize them to make them what you like. Take what you like, play with it, and customize it. Find your own unique voice and beauty. And I think that's a really good talking point because, you know, when it comes to the Y2K era trends, which like I said, they're gonna be here for a long time, we're seeing a lot of like the thin brows in that trend really make an effect and a comeback. And this was something that I've been doing in my own personal editorial work for years now. And I said, it's gonna come back. You know, people will eventually, especially younger generations, they don't wanna look like their parents. So everyone's doing the big bushy, bold brow. And the younger generation's like, okay, I'm gonna take it all off like they did in the 90s and the you know, early 2000s. But you don't have to do that to enjoy the trends from the era. I mean, this is looking so gorgeous and saturated already. I absolutely love this. This was a really common thing in the early 2000s for like stars on the red carpet when they were going to like, especially like musicians, really rocked the sort of doe-eyed, owl-eyed, dark, smoky, kind of grungy look. Absolutely love it.
I feel like during that era, they also had more paparazzi. That's not a thing anymore, is it?
Probably not, because everybody already posts everything on social media. Just using what's left on the brush here to sort of blend that out. I am gonna use one final tone, but I just want the edges to be really soft there. Doing the same thing, placing that same tone underneath to set that gel base we used.
I think it's also important to note, like, if you're trying this at home, notice how David is not like going, you know, sweeping.
I knew exactly what she was going to say.
You're intentionally placing it.
Press, especially with dark shadows. If you want to minimize that fallout, you're gonna get it. Everybody gets it. Even the best makeup artists in the world will get it. But pressing the product into place and allowing it to slowly blend out naturally by the pressing motion is a lot easier to control where the product is going, but also how it blends out and not flinging it all over your face.
Because sometimes you would think like, let me get the fluffiest brush ever, let me put it in the powder. And then that is just, it looks like fallout all over
It will be
face.
fallout everywhere. So I'm gonna use another clean number 27 brush. And for the final shade, I'm gonna tap into this grayish tone right here. This is a classic shade. I love grays. Gray in general is another trend. This is going to be coming back. Cool toned eyeshadows are coming back. They were huge in the 90s. They were huge in the early 2000s, the Y2K era. And for good reason, they just kind of have like a really interesting look with other colors. And I'm just allowing this to really blend itself out. Like I said, it just should be a dissipation. And the key to a good classic smoky eye is actually in the most intense pigment being at the lash line or the waterline. So that's where eyeliner is super important, and you know where we're going with this. We're gonna tight line and waterline. I'm gonna be using, this is from Kulfi, a brand I'm obsessed with, new at Sephora. Fantastic. If you've not seen their products, please check them out. They're incredible. This is their Kajal eyeliner, and we're going to tight line above and below into the waterline so you get that intense black around the eye. So I'm gonna have you look down for me. I'm almost going basically up underneath the lashes with this. This is a great trick, even if you're not doing a smoky eye though. It makes your lashes look longer and thicker without needing to do an eyeliner above the lash. It's like a secret way of like intensifying the lash. And now we're just doing the waterline, classic and easy, super important. With this type of look, get in there. Really get the product in there. If it goes a little over or under, it's fine. It's part of that sort of messy, grungy look. I'm even gonna run it right through the lash part a little bit so we get that real intensity, because it makes such a difference, as you can see from one eye to the other. It really creates that gorgeous, smoky, beautiful look that I absolutely love. I think smoky eyes are honestly my favorite beauty look of all time for the eyes. And then I'm gonna run a little bit on top, right through the lashes. We just want that, again, that intensity right through the lash. And I love this formula of liner because it's so soft. It just really works beautifully. So I could obviously just add mascara and go, which is really great, but I do want to add a little bit of a lash. And there is something that we're seeing trending with lashes, which is a bit of more natural looking lashes, whether it's, you know, the tapering of the fiber of the actual hair to look more natural, or just a less intense lash, something that just really enhances your own. Sephora collection, seriously, this whole weightless collection, there's
So
4
good.
different stuff. It's phenomenal. Definitely we're seeing a trend in lashes to go a little bit more back to a natural lash. The fibers are more tapered, there's less volume. They just look more like an enhanced version of your own lashes, which I love. And Sephora collection did it so incredible with this band here. It is invisible in the truest sense. It looks like these are growing right out of your lashes.
And they're so comfortable.
Lightweight.
Like I don't feel them on my eyes.
Weightless for a reason. Let's pop these on. Okay, so we've got the eyelashes on. I absolutely love how they look on you. They're so good.
I don't even feel them.
They're weightless,
Yeah.
literally. And this kind of smoky eye is personally, seriously like my favorite style of look. I love a grungy, lived in, round, rock and roll. Definitely a trend you're gonna be seeing more of. But we're gonna pair this actually with another trend birthed in the Y2K
Okay.
era, the pop princess kind of a trend, which was really big with obviously the musical pop princesses of the day, the divas. And that sort of lip that they would do that was a little bit pinkier, a little bit glossier, right? We're coming from the 90s in that Y2K era, which was like browns and mattes. And then Y2K came along and it was like, let's go back to pinks.
Yeah.
Let's have a little bit of lusciousness to it, a little bit of cute, a little bit of feminine. So with that, we're gonna start with a lip liner. You've all seen the sort of 90s overdrawn lip liner. It is here. It continued into the Y2K. It's gonna stay here. So we're gonna add that into this because I think it looks really cool. I'm gonna be doing Charlotte Tilbury's Lip Cheat, a fantastic lip liner if you're looking to overdraw your lips because
Which I have to.
it's so good,
I
right?
have to.
It's
No
got a
way.
little bit of a waxiness to it, so it actually fills in physically if you're drawing over, so you don't get that line, you know, where it looks like, I can see your real lip
Yeah,
in there.
yeah.
This is the shade Pillow Talk 2 Medium. So it's the classic pinky Pillow Talk, just a little bit darker because I want that
Yeah.
effect. And we're just going to softly line Natasha's lips. As you can see, I'm going pretty low. We're definitely doing a little bit of a filling with the lip. Okay, so the liner's done. We're feeling good about that. Time to add a little lipstick. This is a YSL lipstick in shade 12, and it's a beautiful pinky rose tone, which was like iconic in the Y2K era, was that return of pink, super feminine, super girly. This has a really nice sort of satiny, semi-glossy finish to it, which I really like. It plays into this whole, you know, pop princess moment. I'm gonna be applying with a brush. I'm using the Sephora Pro Lip Brush, and this is number 85, one of my personal favorite lip brushes. Oh, this is a beautiful color on you. Absolutely stunning. Okay, so to finish this all off, another trend that we're seeing, gloss has definitely made its return. You know, I think post-pandemic lips have made a return. And gloss has really taken over from the sort of matte lipstick as the dominant form of lip. And where it's going is to add a little bit more finish to the gloss. So glitters and sparkles and metallic finishes. I'm gonna be using this one from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is the tinted lip gloss in the shade Amber Sparkle, which just that name alone is fantastic. And when you see this go on, it's gonna be so gorgeous. And I chose this for a reason. The amber is a little bit warmer, and we've got a cool toned pink lip. They're gonna really work together to somewhat neutralize each other. So you just get this gorgeous pinky champagne diamond. You are gonna be ready to take center stage after this, seriously. It's so gorgeous. I will take the product off because rubbing it directly on the lip, I'm just gonna end up picking up all that lipstick. So that's a little trick I use as a professional artist. Use your brush, pick up the product, and then sweep it across the lip. Also makes the application a lot easier and more precise, I think, with the brush. Okay, so there you have it. Some trends I think you're definitely gonna be seeing right from the Y2K era. We've got that grunge smoky eye, and we're pairing it with that pop princess lip. Two trends you definitely wanna jump on, and now it's time to show Natasha. She's dying over here. So good, right?
I am a pop star.
You are a pop star. You're a pop diva.
And what I love about it is like whenever I do a smoky eye, I would have never thought like, let me not do a brow. But here I am, no filled in brow.
Yep.
It's all the moment of the grungy eye and she's just like softened with the lip.
I love it.
I'm obsessed. This is my new signature look.
I think it's so gorgeous. It's rock and roll, it's sexy, it's feminine. If you loved it, you can shop the shelf and get all these products right away. And until next time, live in that Y2K fantasy, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.